We're joined by White House economic advisor Heather Boushey. Heather, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
First, let's just look at these numbers. It's hard to put a positive spin on them. Unemployment rose for the first time since April of 2020 during the onslaught of the pandemic. How are you at the White House reading these numbers? What do they mean to you? Is this recovery in trouble, do you think?
Well, here's the thing. If you look over the past 3 months, we've added over 500,000 jobs each month for the past 3 months on average. And that's much better than the prior 3 months. We only added about 60,000 jobs a month. So I would say that, it's good that so many folks got a job this month, and it's on trend. We never like to make too big of a deal of any 1 month's data. We need to look at the longer term trend and where the economy is headed. And with the pandemic and the uncertainty and the, as we're starting to reopen, we know that things are going to be a little bit volatile, and I think that's what you see this month.
And I like to say it's not the jobs numbers that were off, it was the forecasters and analysts who are, given the unique situation here, nobody alive, remembers the last time a pandemic upended the markets. But what we are hearing, one of the analyses that are coming out from Republicans, but others as well, is that unemployment benefits are so generous, people aren't going back to the workforce. Now, we heard President Biden today shoot down that idea that these enhanced unemployment benefits have had a chilling effect on compelling workers to return to work. Let's listen to him.
The data shows that more workers are looking for jobs, and many can't find them. While jobs are coming back, there's still millions of people out there looking for work. And the idea that they don't want to work. Most middle-class, working-class people that I know think the way my dad did. He used to say, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to continue to because I think it's critical. A job is a lot more than a paycheck.
It sure is. But we do know that employers in some industries, we're hearing this, restaurants, hospitality, for example, have reported having trouble filling open positions. And the governor of South Carolina today said that that state is no longer going to participate in federal unemployment programs that had been started in the pandemic because of what he called unprecedented labor shortages. Governor of Montana did the same thing. Chamber of Commerce calling for an end to those added weekly benefits, $300 that were part of the president's relief plan. So, are you denying that there are labor shortages out there? Do you think it's a result of people not coming back to work because of the extra unemployment benefits?
Listen, we saw last month that an uptick in labor supply. It was a small uptick, wasn't statistically significant, but you do see people coming back into the labor force. And there are a lot of other indicators deep in the data that show that there are folks willing to work, and you're seeing more of people being less afraid about COVID and saying that's not really stopping me from getting in the labor force right now. But we know that it was only late in April, around April 19th. That all of the vaccines became open to everyone. And so we know that this is the process of getting the shots in arms, getting the vaccine under control, getting everything up and going was going to take some time. So I think that as the vaccine gets out there, as people become more comfortable, we're going to see labor supply continue to increase as we see jobs come back. But we know that the money and the resources that went out through the American Rescue Package that passed earlier this year, this is really helping businesses and communities both deal with the pandemic and get things back up and running. So I think what we see this month is we see strong job growth. Again, it's on a good trajectory over the past few months, and we certainly want to continue to see job gains month after month, and we want to see that pull people into the labor force, but we need to make sure that people are safe, and that's why the administration has prioritized wrapping our hands around the pandemic first so that we can get everyone back to work.
But Heather, as an economist, what do you say to business leaders, women and men who are looking to hire people, and they are telling us it's because people are staying home because they've got these benefits and it's sufficient for them?
Well, here's the thing. You've got 9.8 million folks out there who are unemployed who say that they're actively searching for a job. So this is not a great labor market from the perspective of workers. While indeed, certainly as businesses get up and running, they need to bring those workers back on board. As my instinct is as we keep moving forward, we're going to see that the mismatch that we might have right now between supply and demand start to ameliorate. But we've always known that this was going to be volatile. Recoveries are always volatile. But I think we see the benefits of, communities and people having the income support they need that is fueling this demand that is then helping us get back up to speed. So I predict as we see the vaccine become more distributed, we're going to see a stronger labor market.
So then let's talk about women's participation in the workforce. That's a hard story in this hard time. Many schools and daycare still not back to normal operations. We know that's an obstacle for many women to return to work because women bear the burden between the genders of raising and taking care of those children. So should the Biden administration, that's not fair, by the way, as my wife will be the first to say, but should the Biden administration have done more to get those schools reopened? Is the president too close to teachers' unions who have in many places resisted that?
Well, listen, we've made remarkable progress on getting schools reopened, and funds are starting to go out to the states in order to support child care centers being able to stay open and make sure that they can meet the needs of their communities. I mean, this is certainly job one, right? If you don't have access to care, folks can't get to work, and that is why these were prioritized as a part of the American Rescue Plan. It was a huge shock to our economy when the pandemic hit and everyone had to, face-to-face businesses had to shut down for the health of us all. We're trying to get things up and running again, but we know that access to schools and childcare is fundamentally important to getting the economy back on track to allow parents and caregivers to fully participate in the economy.
That's great. So get the kids back to school, and that'll help the economy as well as the kids. So White House Economic Advisor Heather Boushey, thanks very much for that.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.